It produces so much heat that it accounts for 75% of the heat that wears out tools. The generation of heat was found to be a function of the thickness of the chip. If a chip could be made thinner by half while maintaining the same thickness of bite, the heat generating area should also diminish. Watch how this chip is made thinner, not by changing the thickness of the bite, but by swiveling this line. It marks the plane along which metal is being deformed or sheared, and it makes a clearly defined angle with the surface being machined. It's called the shear angle. And what controls the shear angle during machining? Right here is the answer. Where the chip meets the tool face. Reducing friction at this interface increases the shear angle, which thins out the chip and reduces heat. But under a microscope, the chip flowing up the face of the tool appears rough. Its tiny projections collide with the equally rough peaks on the tool face. Depending on the horsepower at work, pressure at any one of these tiny contact points can build to 200,000 pounds per square inch, and even more. This is friction. This is what has to be reduced. And because of the terrific pressures, no fluid film, oil, water, or anything else will get between those points and stay there. As a result, these tiny points of contact tend to weld, and they must be constantly sheared away. More than a quarter of the horsepower is used just to break them. And when those bonds are sheared, tiny fragments of the tool face are torn out and accompany the chip. The face of the tool becomes dished, beginning at a point a little above the apex of the face and flank, weakening the tool and tending to keep heat concentrated at the tool point. Tools wear out. When enough of these bonded contacts occur in the same area, they fail to shear, and chip material piles up on the tool face to become what all machinists know as built-up edge. Occasionally, pieces of this built-up edge will break loose and escape with the chip, but hundreds of times each second they pass under the tool point, remaining with the workpiece. This is almost the sole cause of poor finish. So not one but 3 crimes against good machining can be pinned on inadequate cutting fluids. The bonding of metal to metal wears out the tool face. Friction keeps the shear angle low, causing more deformation, and particles of built-up edge escape with the workpiece and spoil the finish. But now, watch what happens when a small amount of a certain fluid is introduced. There goes the shear angle up. The chip immediately becomes thinner. The power requirement drops. Much less heat is being generated. The built-up edge that causes poor finish is gone. Finish improves. A fluid film can't do the job.